What lies beyond the wall, Grandpapa?
I have often wondered that myself, Guerriero, but I never dare to find out. But something out there whispers to me. It sings to me. I can hear it in my dreams. I will teach you the song, Guerriero, but you must never tell anyone. You must never let them know that you wonder what lies beyond. They will not understand.
Guerriero! Come play with me, Guerriero.
What about Bella, Grandpapa? Can I tell Bella?
They will not understand, young one. But now you should go play. There is plenty of time for you to learn the song.
The Moonlight Theatre presents The 5 Tasks of Guerriero Della Veritas. Once a week, for as long as anyone could remember, the people of Paduta would gather and talk about the king. This was a time of celebration and a time to imagine the things to come.
In the days of the king, the land will be fertile and trees will grow that will produce fruit all year round. In the days of the king, our dresses will be made from the finest materials in all the land. Oh, and there will be no one fairer than we.
Oh, you're already fair, Carla.
Oh, stop it, you old charmer! What are you like? In the days of the king, we will know riches beyond compare. We will be envy of all, and no town is more deserving than we.
And so it went. Everyone would get a chance to say something, and they would drink and laugh and dance all through the night until the following day. All except for one.
Guerriero? Guerriero? Come and join the celebrations. The people are losing their patience with you.
I do not wish to, brother. It all seems rather, well, silly.
Don't ever say that again, Guerriero. Do you want the darkness to fall on us?
Well, then at least something would happen.
Take that back, brother, before the wind carries your words. Stop your nonsense and join the celebrations.
What do you think lies beyond the wall, brother?
Ah, you fool. You are more trouble than you are worth. Stop your wondering, brother. Now come on. Bella's at the celebration, and she is looking particularly lovely today.
Bella? Well, why didn't you just say so?
Guerriero joined his brother and they walked towards the celebrations. They became part of the crowd, and Guerriero immediately found Bella and he took her by the hand.
My lovely Bella.
Bella removed her hand and she watched as Cornelio joined the crowd.
Cornelia seems quite upset. We're at the wall again, Guerriero. You really should be more careful. You are never here for the celebrations, and the village people are starting to talk. I cannot defend you forever, Guerriero. Stop your silliness.
Oh, Bella, let them talk. One day I will make it beyond the wall, and I will bring you treasures. We will go on many adventures, and I will find my fortune and bring riches to the village. And you will be my queen.
Stop talking like that, Guerriero. You are not a boy anymore. The wind will carry your words, and you will bring darkness upon us. Is that what you want, Guerriero? Besides, in the time of the king, we will all have treasures. Now, stop talking and just enjoy the celebrations.
Some of the villagers noticed that Guerriero had joined them, and they started moving towards him.
Oh no, here they come. I've warned you many times, so deal with them yourself.
I'm glad to see you could join us, Guerriero.
Glad you could spare a moment of your time to come and join us lowly villagers.
Guerriero thinks he's better than us.
The villagers started to shove Guerriero around a little bit.
Guerriero, the Wanderer.
Guerriero, the great wall starer.
Guerriero, the one who thinks he's better than all of us.
One villager tried to shove him again, but he grabbed his hand and looked him in the eyes.
I don't.
Guerriero said, and then started to walk away. The villagers did not touch him again, because even though they thought he was strange, they knew he was strong.
It is the first time that you've ever spoken out loud at the celebrations, Guerriero. You never praise the king. Prove to us you don't think you are better than us, and praise the king, Guerriero.
The mob around Guerriero grew larger. They had bitten their tongues for far too long.
Praise the king, wall starer.
The mob joined in.
Praise the king! Praise the king! Praise the king!
Bella appeared again.
Go on, do it, Guerriero. Prove to them you're loyal to the village. Praise the king.
Oh, Bella, there is nothing I would not do for you.
The crowd continued chanting.
Praise the king! Praise the king! Praise the king!
Reluctantly, Guerriero stepped onto the rock of praise.
In the time of the king? In the time of the king? That is all I hear. How long will you wait for your king? The lands are barren and underworked. There is barely enough food to feed us, and all you do is wait for the king.
The king will give us food aplenty. Bide your tongue, Guerriero.
The crowd started to boo. The crowd joined in, but Guerriero continued. He had never feared them.
When is this so-called king coming? Little boys have become grey old men waiting for him. I tell you now, he is never coming.
Silence him! Silence him before the wind carries his words! His hubris will let the darkness fall upon all of us.
Guerriero climbed down from the rock. The crowd continued to be dismissive. Bella grabbed Guerriero by the arm and pulled him aside.
I thought you said you would do anything for me.
And I will, Bella. But that I could not.
Oh, Guerriero. Why can't you be like everybody else?
Angered, Bella stormed off. Guerriero walked past the villagers and made his way back to the wall. There, he sat under a tree.
Fool!
On that day, like every other day, the wind did carry Guerriero's words. It carried it over the wall. It carried it across rivers and mountains and into the sky. It carried it to the places where silence is a glorious conclusion and to the ears of all those who listen. And on this particular journey, it caused something to stir. Guerriero was the first to see it. Its eyes seemed to be on fire, and its breath smelled of sulfur. It glimpsed at Guerriero and flew past him.
The dragon growls as it flies over the village, breathing fire and destroying everything that cannot get out of the way.
The villagers scattered, and they tried to get to safety. Oh, this did not faze the dragon. He breathed fire on their houses. With each breath came destruction. And before it returned to the place from which it came, it said,
I am the beginning. Who shall have my cause?
Then it roared and flew away. The village was quiet. But Guerriero was the first to break the silence.
Is everyone alive?
One by one, the villagers started to crawl out of their hiding places. Their stares directed at Guerriero.
Everyone seems to be accounted for. No thanks to you. Look at what you've caused.
Kill him! He is nothing but a nuisance! You brought this upon us! You who did not bite your tongue!
Kill him! He's nothing but a nuisance.
Hold up now. Let's not be hasty.
Do not speak, you fool! You have caused enough harm. To appease a dragon, we must sacrifice you.
Kill the wall starer. The king would approve.
Kill him! Kill him!
Let's feed him to the dragon. Let's mock him so that everyone can see he's a fool.
It took the strength of 6 men to overpower Guerriero. They bound his hands and dragged him to the open fields. There was a pit of fire.
You will carry this mark with a fool. Your grandfather was spared this mark, but you will not be.
The brand was placed in the fire. Guerriero could smell the steel heating up, and he knew he was in trouble. He tried to free himself, but he felt comforted when he saw Bella running towards him.
Give me a fair trial. Allow Bella to speak for me.
And the crowd did seem to quiet down. The villagers smiled when he said this. And this made Guerriero feel quite uneasy.
Oh, very well then. Have it your way. Bella, do you have anything to say?
Bella walked closer to Guerriero, and she stopped right in front of him. Her eyes were cold.
Bella?
Guerriero whispered, and Bella didn't say anything in return. She simply spat him in the face. And as she did this, Guerriero could feel something break inside of him. The crowd burst into a frenzy of laughter.
More him! More him! More him! Let's feed him to the dragon!
Guerriero did not put up a fight as the heated metal burned into his chest. The pain was nothing compared to the pain that no one could see.
It is time for you to find out what lies beyond the wall, Guerriero. Let the wind carry my words. You are no longer welcome here. Open the gates!
Most of the village had never seen the gate opened. Some of them did not even know there was a gate. It had not been opened for many years. And it took the strength of all of the villagers, every man, woman, and child, to release it. And Guerriero was thrown outside.
May the dragon be appeased by your bones.
Away with you, you marked fool!
Who is bitten now, Guerriero?
Quickly! Close the gates before anything enters!
Guerriero could hear the crowd cheer as the gate was closed behind him. For the first time in his life, he was completely alone. He felt empty, like something was stolen. The world behind the wall was not at all what he had imagined. There was nothing. No trees, no rivers, no rocks. Just sand and emptiness. The weight he felt on his heart became too much for him to bear, and he collapsed onto the sand. He wanted to weep, but there were no tears.
Will you also show me no mercy?
He yelled at the sun, Guerriero had a decision to make. He could not look back, and in front of him, the land appeared barren. He could stay in one spot and die. If the sun would not kill him, the dragon surely would. Or he could get up and keep moving towards an uncertain fate. For a second, Bella's betrayal made him want to choose the first. But something deep inside of him, something old that cannot be named or explained, made him choose the latter. Each step was new, but it felt like each step led to more of the same. The land remained flat. The heat became an enemy, but he knew he had to continue. Vultures started circling around his head, but he had never seen nor heard of vultures, so he did not understand the omen. His thirst became unbearable, and then it became part of him, like he had always been thirsty. The days were long, the nights were cold, but he knew he had to continue walking. He could feel his strength leaving him, and with each step, sadness was replaced with anger. He could feel anger rising up inside him, coiling around his heart like a serpent. Anger that he ever wished to know what was on the other side of the wall. Anger that he ever dared to wonder. Anger that he ever doubted the ceremony of the king. And most of all, anger that he did not heed his grandfather's words to never speak the desires of his heart.
Where are you, dragon? Why don't you take this fool? I've heard you, dragon. Now take me!
He spoke the words with the last energy he had left, and then he fell into darkness. His thoughts immediately turned to Bella.
I will never leave you, Guerriero. I will always be yours.
Then there was nothing, and Guerriero could feel himself giving into it. Like many before him, he longed for the rest it promised. But before he could completely become part of the nothing, an unknown voice interrupted. The wind was whispering. And he did. Where there was nothing a moment ago, there now was water and shade. Guerriero jumped up and ran towards it. Oh, he dived in. He had never tasted water so sweet, and he savored every mouthful. He was so busy quenching his thirst that he did not notice the old lady in the tree.
Would you mind giving an old lady a hand?
Guerriero was startled.
Where did you come from? And why are you in a tree?
Oh, never mind that now. Sometimes we all get stuck. So give us a hand then.
The old lady reached out her hand. Guerriero got out of the water and moved closer to the tree in which the old lady was sitting.
Jump. I will catch you.
Oh, chivalry is not dead. Very kind of you, not to mention manly. But no need for such extravagance. I simply asked you for a hand.
Guerriero obliged and offered his hand. She grabbed his hand, and her grip was much stronger than Guerriero would have imagined. And then she simply floated to the ground.
There, that is better. Oh, I get stuck in trees way too often.
She suddenly became quiet and stared at the wound on Guerriero's chest.
What is that on your chest? Oh, that will leave a mark. We must treat it immediately. Who did this to you?
The old lady picked a mortar and pestle from the tree. She did it so naturally that Guerriero did not even wonder if it was indeed possible to pick a mortar and pestle from a tree. Then she picked some leaves and started to crush it in the bowl.
It was my village. They did this to me. They banned me and then gave me the mark of the fool.
Oh, nonsense. There is no such thing. They just scarred you a little. That's not very nice of them. Whatever did you do to deserve this?
Well, I awoke the dragon.
Oh, don't flatter yourself. He never sleeps. But how exactly do you presume you did it?
I disrespected the king.
The dragon does not care for the kings of man. What else did you do?
I wish to see beyond the wall.
Oh, yes, that ought to do it, yes. Our wishes often get us into trouble. And it seems like you got your wish, Guerriero.
The old lady moved closer to Guerriero, and she started rubbing the balm on his chest. This caused him to take a step back.
Oh, relax. I'm not trying to seduce you. Unless you want me to.
Guerriero recoiled even more.
Calm down. I'm just trying to help you. This will soothe your wound.
Guerriero allowed the old lady to touch him.
Now stand still, so I can have my way with you, big boy.
The old lady said seductively, and then she started to laugh. She enjoyed making him uncomfortable. It amused her so.
Who are you, and how do you know my name?
I know many things, Guerriero. You can call me Angelica, and I am the keeper of the quest. So I feel obliged to tell you, there are many things behind the wall, and not all can handle it.
I can handle it.
Oh, can you now? Well, Guerriero, I will give you the same choice I give to all who wander beyond the wall, because just making it here is quite an achievement. So, if you want, I will guide you back to your village, and I will make them forget all about what you've done and said. I will even throw in riches more than you can fathom. Oh, and you can be with your lovely Bella again. But be warned, if you choose this, you must never wonder what lies behind the wall again. Or you could complete the 5 tasks of Cercatore. But it will not be easy, and there are no guarantees that you will succeed. Few do. I highly recommend that you pick the first option.
I pick the tasks.
Are you sure you don't want to think about it first?
Well, I will always wonder what lies behind the wall. It is part of who I am, and I have made it this far. I cannot turn back now.
Yes, that is true. Very well then. It has been decided.
The old lady silently stared into the distance.
So, what are the 5 tasks? What must I do?
Give me a minute, will you? Have you never heard of a dramatic pause? Okay, here we go. You must defeat the dragon. You must free a princess from that which binds her. You have to dance among the stars and return with stardust. You must fulfill a prophecy. And then you must tell me what can be spoken, but never be heard. Do all this, and you will pass the task of Salvatore. Did you see what I did there? I was being quite dramatic, I think it really worked. I felt the moment. I lived it. I was it. Did I scare you?
Well, but these tasks are impossible.
Impossible? No. Really, really, really hard? Yes. Now you've already chosen, so I suggest you get going before the time runs out.
But what will I get if I succeed?
Oh, it's a little late to ask questions now. Besides, it doesn't matter. Now get going.
The old lady vanished. Guerriero had no idea where he had to go, so he could not know when he would get there. But he figured that he had better get going. For once, fortune seemed to be on his side. He had only walked for a couple of minutes when he caught sight of what appeared to be a castle, and his pace hastened.
Perhaps I will start off by rescuing a princess. That seems rather nice.
Guerriero thought to himself. He arrived at a town, and in its center there was a castle. From afar it looked majestic, but up close everything looked quite decrepit. The roofs of the houses were filled with holes. The buildings appeared to be crumbling. Rats scurried around like they owned the place. Guerriero saw two men sitting outside what once must have been a splendid structure. And as he approached them, he could see that their clothes were tattered and frayed.
Greetings. My name is Guerriero. Could you perhaps tell me what village this is?
Greetings, stranger. It does not matter anymore. The town is almost dead, but it was once called Sulare.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, sir, but is there a princess in that tower for me to rescue?
Do not speak of such things, stranger. There has not been a princess here for many years. The princess left us.
What? Wait, what happened to the princess?
No one is sure. An enchantress arrived in town. One day, the princess was here. On the next, she was gone. And that's when everything collapsed. The king, stricken with grief, was slain in battle, and shortly thereafter, the queen died of a broken heart. And the land started to die. And as it died, the howling woods of madness took its place. More and more people started to disappear into them. Since then, the town has been known as the Kingdom of Sorrows by all who pass it by.
What are the Howling Woods of Madness?
Oh, it is a terrible place, stranger. I advise you to stay clear. It is not sure whether men go there because they are mad, or do they turn mad when they go there. They say the people there never sleep, tortured by the voices every waking moment. Best to avoid it altogether.
Well, I need to slay the dragon, rescue a princess, dance among the stars, fulfill a prophecy, and figure out what can be spoken but never heard. Any ideas on how to do that?
Well, that sounds like an awful lot of trouble. It is best to just stay here.
The dragon has not been seen for a long time, stranger. But if you must know, it is said that it dwells in a realm not too far from here. But you will have to cross the Howling Woods to get there. And that is a terrible idea.
Well, then I guess that is where I have to go. So how do I get there?
Just continue on the route that you are on now, stranger. You won't be able to miss it.
Guerriero started to walk in the direction that the man had pointed out.
Definitely a madman. The woods shall become his home.
Guerriero heard the woods before he saw it. Loud howls and moans and sounds of despair filled the air. And Guerriero felt fear as he entered.
What a pathetic creature! Look at him! Look at him!
Oh, shut up!
The woods exploded with laughter.
You'll never succeed! Guerriero thinks he's better than us!
Oh, shut up! Guerriero heard from behind him. He turned around, and there, swinging from a branch, was what appeared to be a woman. But she seemed almost childlike. Her hair was a mess, her clothes and her face was covered in mud, and she had a distant look in her eyes, like not all of her was there. Guerriero thought she looked, well, a little crazy.
Oh, shut up!
The girl said again. Guerriero approached with caution, like he would a wild animal. He moved slowly towards her. He reached out his hand to help her from the tree. Now this startled her, and she jumped. And she hid herself behind the tree.
What is your name?
The girl didn't say anything. She just peeked from behind the tree. Guerriero tried to move closer, but this caused her to hide her face again.
Well, I guess I will just sit here under this tree until you are ready to come out and tell me your name.
Guerriero sat down with his back towards the tree. A few moments later, he could hear movement. And then the girl stood next to him.
If you know its name, you can defeat it.
The girl whispered. She appeared to be in a trance.
Oh, okay.
Guerriero said sarcastically.
You must become part of it. The heart reveals all. If you know its name, you can defeat it.
I heard you. Now tell me what your name is.
Can't remember.
The girl shrugged and then turned around.
Come with me. Come.
I don't want to go with you. I don't even know your name.
Come, you must meet Bernie. Come.
She grabbed him by the arm, and this made Guerriero uncomfortable, and he released himself from her grip. This made her tilt her head in confusion. Undeterred, she grabbed his hand again.
You must meet Bernie. Come.
She was very persistent, and Guerriero was not sure where to go, and perhaps Bernie knew where to find the dragon. So, reluctantly, he allowed her to lead him. The howling woods was filled with people who were there, but not completely. And they did not pay much attention to the girl or Guerriero.
Bernie, he is my friend.
The girl said, while pointing to a strange little house.
Is the house called Bernie?
Guerriero inquired. He was not sure just how deep her madness went. The girl did not seem impressed.
Come on.
She opened the door and she led him inside. The house looked much larger from the inside than it did from the outside, and Guerriero was relieved to see that there was in fact a man inside. He was busy brewing something over a small flame.
Bernie!
Oh, hello. Welcome. I'm sorry about the state of the place. I wasn't expecting anyone. She must be rather fond of you. She doesn't really take to people, and she never brought anyone with her before. So, well, welcome, I guess.
Pardon me, sir. I do not wish to be rude, but, you do not seem mad.
Oh, really? How can you tell? We are all mad. It's the people who think they're sane that have the problem. I like the howling woods. People tend to leave you alone when they think you are, off your rocker. It frees me to do my experiments, you see.
Experiments?
Why, yes. I'm working on something very impressive. Yeah, very, very impressive indeed. Seeds. Seeds that can grow in any condition. They grow bigger and taller than any other plants. Hunger will be eradicated. Here, have some. Go on, take it.
Guerriero had no interest in the seeds, but he did not want to offend Bernie, so he took the bag of seeds, thanked him, and put it in his pocket, and immediately forgot about them.
Do you know where I could find the dragon?
Perhaps you're more interesting than you look. Why would any sane man go looking for a dragon?
Well, I have 5 tasks to complete, and one of them is to defeat the dragon.
Oh, I see. Of course you do. I think I have a book here that may assist you in your madness. Great things books, aren't they?
Bernie goes to the back of the room and takes a small book from the shelf. He shows the title to Guerriero.
Everything you have ever wanted to know about dragons and other stuff.
Bernie licks his finger and starts flipping through the book.
Let's see. It says that you will only find the dragon when you're ready to face it, and even then, it will be quite elusive. It resides on the edge of the howling woods of madness between the rose and the bull. To see him, you must question him, and if a question is fickle, you will be slayed. That's all it says. Not very helpful. I can't really remember where I got this book from.
You must become part of it. Know its name, and you can defeat it.
Oh, there she goes again. She says it all the time. I have no idea what she's talking about. I just smile and give her a cookie.
So how do I get to the edge of the Howling Woods?
Well, I don't really know, but I'm sure if you just walk straight, you're bound to find it.
I'm coming with you.
No, please don't. It's better that you stay here.
Guerriero was not in the mood for some crazy girl to tag along.
No. I'm coming with you. Yes, I'm coming with you.
Best to allow her to tag along for a while. When she puts her mind to something, you cannot stop her. She may be useful. She knows the woods well. You can't go defeat dragons without a sword now, can you? That would be madness.
Guerriero was extremely annoyed by the girl jumping on his back.
What is your name?
Get off me!
Guerriero shook the girl off him.
If you want to come with me, you must behave yourself.
The girl stared at the ground, and Guerriero felt a little bad for hurting her feelings.
My name is Guerriero.
The girl lit up again.
Guerriero. Yes. Guerriero, come. Guerriero has to do the tasks. Why, Guerriero?
Oh, I don't know.
Why, Guerriero? Why?
I don't know. I made a wish.
The girl came to a sudden stop.
A wish. Oh, I remember. A wish. It all started because of a wish. I remember.
Well, that's what I said. Now let's keep moving.
The girl obeyed and started to run. Guerriero followed suit. But she was hard to keep up with. She then stopped and turned to face Guerriero. She was in the shadows, so he could not clearly see her. But she seemed different somehow. Almost beautiful. Dance with me, Guerriero.
Oh, you silly girl. There's no time for that. I have to defeat the dragon, and I really want to get to the princess.
Guerriero, dance with me, the girl said again. But this time Guerriero just ignored her and continued walking, hoping that she would stop her nonsense. When he looked back, she once again looked like the girl he first met. Dirty, tattered, and torn. He looked to see if he could see the edge of the howling woods. And when he looked back again, the girl was gone.
Silly girl. Good riddance.
Guerriero reached what appeared to be the end of the woods. There, in the clearing, were two large rocks. One was shaped like a rose, and the other was shaped like a bull.
This must be the place.
There was no sign of the dragon, but not too far from the spot where he was standing, Guerriero could make out a tower. Oh, and this filled him with excitement.
The princess.
Guerriero ran in the direction of the tower. Rescuing a princess seemed a lot more pleasant than slaying a dragon. But when he reached the space between the two rocks, something knocked him off his feet. At first, he thought it was his imagination, but then he heard it again.
What is your question?
Guerriero pulled his sword.
What is your question?
Guerriero was not sure what to ask, so he just said the first thing that came to mind.
What are you?
Not great, but that will do.
The dragon became visible, and it was much larger than Guerriero remembered.
I was there at the first beginning, and I will be there at the end.
Prepare to die!
Guerriero lifted his sword, ready to strike. But this just made the dragon laugh, and he brushed Guerriero aside like he was a twig.
Mortal fool!
Guerriero got up and tried stabbing the dragon one more time, and again the dragon just brushed him aside and laughed.
No man can ever defeat me, for I was born from man. And as long as you walk the earth, so shall I.
The dragon's belly began to glow. Fire moved up towards his mouth, and Guerriero rolled out of the way just in time. He managed to crawl under a rock where the dragon could not see him.
Guerriero! Face me!
Guerriero didn't move. He was smart enough to know when he was outmatched. But why did he decide to do the 5 tasks? The old lady must have tricked him, because as he was lying under the shelter of the rock, he believed that the tasks were indeed impossible. His heart was still heavy, and he was too proud to allow himself to simply die without putting up a fight. So he decided to face his death like a man. His hiding place and called to the dragon.
Here I am, dragon, take me!
The dragon dived and came to a standstill in front of Guerriero. For a moment, their eyes met. Guerriero could not be sure, but he thought he saw the dragon smiling. Then, the dragon opened his mouth, and it swallowed Guerriero. The inside of the dragon was dark, and it seemed to expand into what Guerriero could only describe as forever. He could not see a thing. He was not touching anything. He was falling into what felt to be eternal darkness.
Am I dead?
Guerriero wondered. But he was not. He was simply falling. And then suddenly, he stopped. The falling transformed into floating. The space around him started to open up, and the darkness sacrificed itself for illumination. There was light. The space became bigger and bigger, until no edges could be discerned anymore. And Guerriero became part of something that had no end. He thought of a fish, and that is what he became. There was nothing to tell him he was not a fish, so he believed it. He began to swim in the space with no limits, where neither time, nor reality, nor he really existed. He thought about the stars and how he was to dance amongst them. And as he thought of them, they appeared, each more splendid than the next. And then he too became a star. He became aware of every molecule inside of him. And then he started to expand. He expanded until he no longer could contain himself. And every bit of him became part of something else. It continued until the end, and then it looped back to the start. And all of him was once again united. And he remembered the creature that was once known as Guerriero.
I am Guerriero.
To defeat it, you must know its name.
The edges became visible because Guerriero accepted them as reality, and it closed in on him once more. He was now inside the belly of the beast.
You must know its name.
Guerriero looked up. He could see something pounding, something filled with fire. It was the heart of the dragon. Fueled by instinct, he climbed the inside of the dragon to get a better look. Something was written on the heart. At first, it seemed faint, but the longer he looked, the more it became visible. La Pohore dell'Egnuto.
La Pohore dell'Egnuto!
As Guerriero called the name written on the heart, he could feel his surroundings start to shake and tremble.
La Pohore dell'Egnuto! I know what you are now!
A gust of wind came from beneath, and Guerriero was released. Guerriero fell to the ground in front of the dragon once more. The dragon roared, and then it bowed before Guerriero.
Well done, mortal. You faced me, and you were not consumed. I can no longer control you.
The dragon faded away.
The princess.
Guerriero hastened towards the tower.
I have come to free you, princess.
There, in the window, the most beautiful girl Guerriero had ever laid his eyes upon popped her head out of the tower's window.
Oh, hello.
I have defeated the dragon for you, my princess, and now you can be free.
Dragon? What dragon?
The dragon that held you captive.
Oh, right. Right. Are you a prince or something?
No, your highness. My name is Guerriero, and I'm here to win your hand.
Oh, I guess you'll do. So free me then.
Shouldn't you throw down your hair or something?
What? Why would I do that? Stupid. Why don't you just kick down the door? I will use the stairs and I'll meet you down there. But you kick it, okay?
Guerriero did as the princess requested and kicked down the door. Oh, it came down very easily, and the princess joined him outside.
Oh, nice and strong. I like it. I like it.
Guerriero was overwhelmed by her beauty, and he took her hand and he kissed it.
My princess, your beauty is beyond compare.
Ah, that's nice. So, where are you taking me? What's your name again?
Guerriero.
Guerriero. I'm just gonna call you G. Is that okay? Okay, so where are you taking me, G?
I will return you to your kingdom. But first...
Guerriero took the princess in his arms, and he embraced her. He did just defeat a dragon after all, and he was feeling particularly brave and masculine. As he kissed her, his mind started to wander. He started thinking about horses, for no particular reason, and then he wondered, when was the last time he had a good beer? It surprised him, but the kiss was rather disappointing. So he stopped.
Ooh, hello. Why stop now, G? It was just getting interesting.
I have to take you back to your kingdom.
Guerrero looked at the princess again. Maybe he was just tired. He promised himself that he would try to kiss her again later. Oh, there was no denying her beauty. But the more time they spent together, the less his desire to kiss her became. Every inch they walked was violated by her voice.
So, like I told you, I do not get along with other women. I don't know why. They must be jealous or something.
Guerrero tried not to listen and only focus on her beauty. But it was harder than he had imagined.
And then I told her, do not talk to me like that, like you know me. You don't know me.
Guerrero sighed, but that didn't stop her.
I am a strong, independent woman, and I know that intimidates men.
Guerrero tried to create a distance between them, but she didn't notice.
And he wanted to paint me like one of his French girls, because I'm pretty.
Guerrero was somewhat surprised, but mostly relieved, when he saw standing in the clearing was the old lady he had first met in the desert.
I have come to check up on you, Guerrero. How are the tasks going?
I believe I have completed 3 of the tasks.
Oh, have you now? So tell me all about it.
I have danced among the stars.
Really? And where's your proof?
Guerrero didn't have anything to show. He just remembered his time in the darkness.
I am the proof. I was one with the stars. I danced amongst them. I was part of their light. And then I was me again. I am the proof.
Oh, that is very deep. Oh, look at you. I believe you. People who have danced among the stars carry the residue. Yes, I can see it on you. It was a bit of a tricky one, that. But you succeeded.
I have also defeated the dragon.
So tell me its name, then.
Guerrero whispered the name in her ear.
Good, my boy. Good.
And I have freed the princess like you asked. And she is standing right there.
The old lady looked at the princess and then back at Guerrero.
Oh, and it was going so well. I don't know who that is, but she's not a princess. What made you think she was a princess?
Well, she looks like a princess and she was locked in a tower.
Dances among the stars. Still, a man. Your first mistake, Guerrero, was that you thought you knew what a princess looked like. And for goodness sake, people who are locked in towers are often there for a reason. You should have probably left her there.
Guerrero looked at what he thought was a princess, then back to the old lady.
So what do I do with her now? Do you think if we ignored her, she will go away?
Don't let me slap you, boy. You freed her. You figure it out.
Guerrero walked over to the girl.
Princess, it's not you. It's, you know when you have a bird and...
What you on about? So are we almost at the kingdom you promised me?
His palms became sweaty, his breath shallow. And then, out of the blue, like most great ideas, Guerrero had a great idea.
Oh yes, I can't wait to take you to the kingdom. You will love it there. They are mostly women.
Mostly women, you say?
Oh yes, beautiful women. You will fit right in.
Never mind. You will take care of me. You are rich, right?
Oh, my dear princess, no, I'm terribly poor. But that doesn't matter because we will be together, and that is all that matters. No, I can't wait for us to build a life together. I will build us a very small house, and we can work the land together.
What? So you are not rich?
No, my love. But what makes a man rich?
Gold, property. Any of that sound familiar?
Earthly nonsense. Now, kiss me.
I just remembered I have to go home. I need to wash my hair, feed my cats. Okay, bye.
She backed away slowly and then left altogether.
Looks like I have to stick around. Anything that smiles at you, you might mistake for a princess.
And you better hurry up. You still have 3 tasks left, and you've wasted a lot of time on that nonsense.
So, how much time will I have to complete the tasks?
Until the time is up. And you don't know when that will be, so hurry up.
The two of them walked back into the howling woods. The old lady did not speak much. She was a little annoyed at Guerriero, and to ease the tension that silence sometimes brings, and because he was feeling a little awkward, Guerriero started humming the song he had learned from his grandfather as a boy. After a while, he started to sing the words he could remember.
The night is dark. The sun will surely rise. And I will always remember the dream I saw in your eyes.
The song that more than just broke the silence. Guerriero was not paying attention, but the people who reside in the Howling Woods did, and they started to follow him. He heard a branch snap, and this made him focus on his surroundings once more. There were people all around them, and when Guerriero stopped singing, they came closer.
What's going on?
I don't know. You must have done something to anger them.
One of the people started to howl. He tried to grab Guerriero's face, but Guerriero pushed him away.
What is wrong with them?
The people were circling Guerriero and the old lady. And then Guerriero noticed the strange girl sitting on a rock. Sing! They want you to sing! People were very close, and they seemed angered by Guerriero's silence.
You heard the girl. Sing!
Guerriero wasn't in the mood for singing anymore, but he obliged, and he continued singing the song that was taught to him long ago.
The night is dark. The sun will surely rise. And I will always remember the dream I saw in your eyes. Life doesn't come wrapped in a tidy little bow. The only power you have is letting go. We pretend to see, but we are blind. The highest towers are the towers in our minds. We walk amongst the shadows to appreciate the light. We embrace the dark. It contains the things we cannot yet see. And this is a war. And we have bled, fighting on the battlefields in your head. Life doesn't come wrapped in a tidy little bow. The only power you have is letting go. We pretend to see, but we are blind. The highest towers are the towers in our mind. The highest towers are the towers we cannot see, like the tower that will never be between you and me.
The song soothed the minds of the people, and one by one, they started falling asleep.
All they know are the hopeless screams that fill the woods. They haven't heard a song in quite some time. Keep singing, Guerriero.
Guerriero kept singing until no one was left awake, except for the girl sitting on the rock. Each word of the song seemed to transform her. Each word freed a part of her, parts that were suppressed, but not completely forgotten. Her beauty was no longer hidden. Her eyes were no longer cloudy, and with each word, she became more like herself. Guerriero knew that in front of him was a princess, and he wanted to sing to her until he no longer had breath. For the first time he knew his heart had truly awakened, and she was the only thing that he could see. He fell to his knees in front of her.
My princess, I am now complete. Come with me.
No, I don't think I want to. Guerriero was a little taken aback. He did not expect that response. You freed me, and for that I will be eternally grateful. But you freed me by accident, Guerriero. You don't know who you are, so how could you recognize me?
Oh, I wish you would give me the opportunity to make it up to you. I will spend the rest of my life in your service.
Oh, Guerriero, wishes are more trouble than they are worth. It was our wishes that got both of us into this mess. There is no need for you to serve me. My people need me more than you. It is time for me to rebuild my kingdom. The princess whistled, and then out from the woods, a horse appeared. The princess got on its back. Speed your journey, Guerriero, and good luck with all your tasks. I do wish you nothing but the best. Here! The princess rode away without looking back. Guerrero's attention turned to the old lady.
I failed.
What do you mean?
The princess would not come with me.
The task was simply to free a princess, Guerriero. It was never to make her yours. That was your assumption. To free a princess, you simply have to remind her of the girl she once was. But more importantly, you have to allow her to become the queen she was always meant to be. You did not fail, Guerriero.
What did she mean when she said, I do not know who I am?
Well, she's the only one who can tell you that, Guerriero. But never mind that now. It is time for you to fulfill a prophecy.
The old lady tapped Guerriero on his chest, and he was transported past kingdoms, lakes, and sand. And he came to a stop in front of the walls of his old village. The moment his feet touched the ground, the gate flung open, and Guerriero could once again enter. Many years had passed since Guerriero was kicked out of the village, and the people did not recognize him. Not one.
Who are you, stranger?
Guerriero did not answer. He was not entirely sure what he was to do in the village. He could see that they did not rebuild the village since the dragon destroyed part of it, and the people looked more frail and hungry than he had remembered. Guerriero walked over to a building that was still in ruins, and he started to rebuild it.
Oh, no need to do that, sir. When the king returns, everything will be restored.
Guerriero did not respond. He continued to clear the dirt and to rebuild the village. All through the night he worked. All through the night until the morning. Some of the men in the village saw what he was doing, and started to work by his side. Guerriero recognized his brother, but he did not recognize him. Yet, for the first time, they toiled side by side. Guerriero felt a hand tap him on the shoulder. When he turned around, he was surprised to see the lovely Bella. She offered him some water, but she too did not recognize him.
That is my wife, sir. She will make sure we have something to drink.
Guerriero had often imagined seeing Bella again. Oh, she was still beautiful. But he felt nothing. Not anger, not love, nothing. And this surprised him.
I've prepared water for you to wash your face.
As Guerriero bent down to clean himself, something fell out of his pocket. It was the seeds that he had forgotten about. And now he knew what he had to do.
You shall eat!
Guerriero stopped building. He walked to the lands. There, he started to prepare the soil.
Who is he?
What is he doing?
Guerriero worked the lands. He toiled. He plowed. He did not stop. When the land was ready, he planted the seeds. The seeds barely hit the ground, and then they sprouted. They grew. In front of the eyes of the entire village, they grew.
It is the king!
One villager shouted. Guerriero simply looked at him with disdain and continued to work.
All hail the king!
All hail the king!
One by one, the village joined in. As they cheered, the plants grew bigger and bigger, and it came to bear fruit larger than they had ever seen.
All hail the king!
They continued to cheer, but Guerriero paid no attention to them. He continued working on the land like a man possessed. The sun was in a particularly foul mood, and it took it out on Guerriero. The heat became too much, and Guerriero took off his shirt. He had completely forgotten about his scar. But the villagers, it seemed, did not. They stopped their chanting, and the memories at once came flooding back.
That is no king. He bears the scar of the fool.
He tried to trick us. That is no king.
You are not the king.
I am Guerriero Della Veritas, and I tell you now, no other king is coming.
Oh, it's Guerriero.
I remember him.
How could we have ever mistaken him for the king?
You will die waiting for your king. You are the ones that need to change things. There is a whole world on the other side of that wall.
Our Guerriero still thinks he's better than us. You are nothing but a fool, Guerriero.
Guerriero, the wall starer.
You are not welcome here, Guerriero. Leave before you let the darkness fall on us again.
You are the darkness. Here,
Guerriero threw the remaining seeds at his brother.
this will keep you fed, if you choose to plant them.
Guerriero walked out of the village that he had once called home. This time, he knew he would never return again.
There goes Guerriero, the wall starer. What a fool!
Outside the walls, the old lady was waiting for him.
Oh, never mind them, Guerriero. You did what you had to do. Someone in there did hear you. And that is all it takes for the story to continue.
The lady took Guerriero's hand, and she transported him to the oasis where they first met.
I think I have the answer to the last task.
So tell me then, Guerriero, what can be spoken
but never be heard.
The truth. For it can only be learned.
Oh, I knew you had it in you, my boy. It's always the one to wonder. Oh, congratulations! Woohoo! Guerriero, you have completed a 5 task. I'm so proud. So proud of you.
So, what do I do now?
Whatever you want, Guerriero. Isn't that grand?
Guerriero smiled.
Well, in that case, I think I owe a dance to a queen.
The old lady returned the smile, and then she curtsied.
Take the horse, Guerriero. It will get you there quicker.
A horse appeared as the lady said the words. Guerriero jumped on, and he followed the directions of his heart. This led him straight to his queen. She didn't say anything. She just looked at him. And so he decided to break the silence.
What was your wish? Well, the wish that got you in trouble.
She kept quiet for a moment. I wished to be freed by a king.
You did not wish to come with me, and I do not blame you, for I was blind. But I am awake now, and I recognize you. Allow me then to go with you. I believe I still owe you a dance.
Again, she did not say anything. Then she turned her back to him and started to trot away. But just as Guerriero was about to bow down his head in disappointment, she turned around and she spoke. Well, come on then. There are many more adventures to be had, Guerriero. Try to keep up, will you? And just like that, the story of Guerriero Della Veritas has come to an end. For now.